For those that don't know me, well, that's your lot. First off, I want to start by thanking everyone who made it here today, especially our family and friends who travelled all the way from Adelaide. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for making it, and sorry about your wallets. It truly means the world to all of us to have you here today. You know, Dan and I are nearly the same in every way. Growing up with a brother, only 15 months apart, we liked all the same things, especially as we entered adulthood, such as sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But the main hobby we shared growing up was skateboarding, which started from about age 10 to about age 25, mastering all the skills, including the big 20-foot ramps, which we thought were impossible back in the day. Now, this brings me to a story that happened about 4 years ago. After a 20-year or so break, we thought we'd get back into skateboarding. We started off with a few basic moves, then progressed to the big ramps like we used to skate on. I probably took to this skateboarding phase a bit quicker than Dan, but within a few weeks, Dan was pumping the big ramps as well. We were at this ramp in Canungra, and I was across the other side of the ramp when Dan was contemplating whether or not he should drop in to this massive ramp. That was probably out of his league. So I was egging him on because I had just dropped in myself and probably made it look pretty easy. I told him to keep his body weight forward and he'll be just fine. So that's what he did and went ahead. Quick drink break. Right, so that's what he did and went ahead, dropping into this huge ramp. And in spectacular fashion, he went flying, hit the ground, and unfortunately broke his arm so severely that it was dangling on a 45-degree angle. I jumped into the ramp, called the ambo, and that was the end of our skateboarding career. Another quick story. About 15 years ago, Ali and I decided to make the big move from Adelaide. A couple of years after we left Adelaide, Dan made the brave decision to move up here too. He didn't have much when he first arrived, but he had an incredible determination to start fresh. For a while, he lived with us, and I had the privilege of watching him work day and night building his jewellery business from scratch. To say that I'm proud of what he's achieved is an understatement, Dan. From nothing, he created something truly extraordinary. A business that not only is successful, but built on his passion and hard work. It's been inspiring to witness his journey, and I know it's only the beginning. But as amazing as his business accomplishments are, today isn't just about that. And when Jessica came into his life, hang on, turn the page, it was clear she was the missing piece. Dan, I've never seen you happier than when you're with Jess. And of course, our little bundle of energy, Ruby. Speaking of Ruby, she's recently turned 1, and I have to say she's already got my brother wrapped around her little finger. I can't wait to see what kind of stories we'll have once she's old enough to be getting into trouble. Jess, thank you for bringing out the best of my brother. You've made him a better man. The two of you are incredible together, and the way you've built your life, especially with Ruby, is something really special. We're also lucky to have you part of our family. So with that said, I'd like to ask you all to raise your glasses. To Dan and Jessica, may your life together be filled with love, laughter, and endless happiness. So here's to Mr. and Mrs. Kemp. Thanks, guys. That's it.
Thank you so much, Chris. Beautiful words. And now next to the microphone, our stepfather.